weather and climate. In this module, you will learn about weather and climate and the factors that affect them. Students, look outside the window. What a bright sunny day! It must be very hot outside, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am. It is very hot today. But yesterday it was raining heavily and it was pleasant outside. But, ma'am, how is it possible that it is rainy one day and sunny the next?
That is because weather changes every day. Weather is the atmospheric condition of a small area for a short period of time. For example, the weather during a day could be bright and sunny, and there could be clouds and rain in the evening, making it cooler. Weather can be described as hot or cold, calm or windy, or wet and dry.
Why does the weather change?
Weather is influenced by factors like air temperature, wind, the amount of precipitation, and the humidity present in the air.
Ma'am, what is air temperature?
Air temperature means how hot or cold the air is. The next factor is wind. Moving air is called wind. Cold air makes the weather of a place cool, whereas warm air makes the weather of a place warm. Precipitation is the water falling on the earth in the form of rain, hail, snow, sleet, etc. Places which receive more precipitation are comparatively cooler than drier regions. Humidity is also a factor which affects the temperature of a place. It refers to the amount of water vapor present in the air. The changes in weather conditions that continue over a long period give rise to seasons. Some major seasons are summers, autumn, winter, and spring. Now, can anyone tell me what climate is?
Ma'am, aren't weather and climate the same thing?
No, Alicia, they aren't. We get confused between the term weather and climate, but they don't mean the same. Climate is the average weather condition that prevails over a large area during a long period of time. Unlike weather, it does not change daily. If we study the weather conditions of a place over a period of time, then we can know about its climate. For example, if a place does not receive rainfall for a long period of time, it has a dry climate. Similarly, if a place stays cold most of the time, then it has a cold climate. There are different types of climate found all over the world. Like in India, the Himalayas in the north has very cold climate throughout the year, whereas the climate of the Thar Desert in Rajasthan is hot and dry. So, the climate of a place also has great influences on the life of the people, plant, and animals. It influences the food we eat, clothes we wear, houses we live in, and crops we grow. Now, let's learn about the factors that determine the climate of a place. They are distance from the equator, height of a place from the sea level, distance from the sea, wind and humidity. You all know that sun is the main source of heat for the earth. It has major influence on the climate of a place. Look at the diagram. It shows the rays of the sun falling on different parts of the earth. If you notice, the rays of the sun fall vertically all over the places near the equator, spreading over a small area. However, near the poles, rays are slanting, spreading over a large area. This means that the area near the equator receives more heat than the land near the two poles. Have you ever visited a hill station? It is always cooler up in the hills. The height of a place above the sea level is called the altitude of that place. Places which are located at a higher altitude are cooler than places which are located at lower altitudes. You have just learned that places near the equator are hotter than the places which are far away from the equator. In India, both Delhi and Chennai are located near the equator. In fact, Chennai is nearer to the equator. Thus, it appears Chennai should be hotter than Delhi in summers. But this is not so, because Chennai is situated near the sea coast. Places near a sea coast receives cool breezes from the sea, which cools the hot air on land. So the climate is moderate. On the other hand, places which are far away from the sea does not have any influence of sea on its climate. Now let's see how wind influences the climate of a place. Wind has a great influence on the temperature of a place. It can be hot, cold, or full of moisture depending on its origin. Cold wind from the Himalayas lowers the temperature of the places lying in northern India. Whereas hot winds coming from the Thar Desert increases the temperature of places around it, even including Delhi. You have just learned that the amount of moisture or water vapor present in the air is called humidity. Air over the places near the equator is full of moisture, as heat of the sun causes evaporation of water, which causes heavy rainfall in these regions. So, the regions have a hot and humid climate. On the other hand, the regions where there is less humidity and no rain turn into a desert. So, students, I hope now you all know the difference between weather and climate. Don't get confused between them anymore. Let's recap. Weather is the atmospheric condition of a small area for a short period of time. It changes every day. Weather depends on the degree of air temperature, wind, amount of rainfall, and humidity in the air. The changes in weather conditions that continue over a long period give rise to seasons. Climate is the average weather conditions that prevail over a large area over a long period of time. Unlike weather, it does not change daily. The factors that determine the climate of place are distance from the equator, height of a place from the sea level, distance from the sea, wind and humidity.
Heat zones of the Earth. In this module, you will learn about the heat zones of the Earth.
Oof, it is so hot here. I wish I was with my cousin Maggie.
Why, Alicia?
Because she lives at a place which has a cool climate.
She lives in a different heat zone from us.
Heat zone? What is that?
All parts of the earth do not receive an equal amount of heat. Different parts receive different amount of sunlight. Based on the amount and intensity of sunlight received, the earth is divided into different heat zones.
Oh, is this why some parts of the earth have snow?
Exactly. Heat zones or temperature zones are areas which experience different climatic conditions. Some places on the earth have deserts and some parts are filled with forests. Places along the equator receive more sunlight as compared to the places away from the equator.
Oh, tell me about the heat zones, Mom.
Based on the intensity of the heat received at different places, the earth is divided into different heat zones, namely torrid zone, temperate zone, frigid zone.
Oh, wow! Tell me about the torrid zone, Mom.
The torrid zone is a region of extreme heat. The region lies between the Tropic of Cancer, that is 23.5 degrees north, and the Tropic of Capricorn, that is 23.5 degrees south. In this region, the sun rays fall almost vertically throughout the year. Due to this, the region experiences hot and humid climate throughout the year. It is the hottest part of the earth. The Sahara Desert in Africa and the Atacama Desert in South America lie in this region. The Amazon rainforest and the Nile River Valley also lie in this region.
Oh, yes. Father told me about the Amazon rainforests. What is a frigid zone, Mom?
The frigid zone is a region of extreme cold weather. This zone is also divided into North Frigid Zone and the South Frigid Zone. North Frigid Zone lies between the Arctic Circle, that is 66.5 degrees north, and the North Pole, that is 90 degrees north. The South Frigid Zone lies between the Antarctic Circle, that is 66.5 degrees south, and the South Pole, that is 90 degrees south. The region receives very little sunlight and hence is very cold. The Arctic Circle in the north and the Antarctic Circle in the south lie in the frigid zone. In the frigid zone, the rays of the sun are extremely slanting and do not bring much heat, even if there is a longer period of daylight. Can you guess the temperature of the places lying in this region?
The regions lying in the frigid zone are the coldest and remain frozen for the maximum time during the year. What is the next heat zone, Mom?
Next is the temperate zone, lying next to the torrid zone in the northern and the southern hemisphere.
What does temperate mean, Mom?
Temperate means a region which is neither too cold nor too warm. In the temperate region, there is moderate climate. The part of the temperate zone in the northern hemisphere is called North Temperate Zone. This lies between the Tropic of Cancer, which is 23.5 degrees north, and the Arctic Circle, which is 66.5 degrees north. The part of the temperate zone in the southern hemisphere is called the South Temperate Zone. It lies between the Tropic of Capricorn, which is 23.5 degrees south, and the Antarctic Circle, which is 66.5 degrees south. The sun rays slant in temperate zone, so this region receives less amount of heat as compared to the torrid zone. The temperature in this zone is neither very hot nor very cold. The prairies in North America, pampas in South America, and wet in Africa are located in the temperate zone. Now can you guess in which heat zone your cousin Maggie lives?
She lives in the frigid zone.
Correct. Let's recap. All parts of the earth do not receive the same amount of heat. Places near the equator receive more heat as compared to the places away from the equator. Based on the intensity in the heat received at different places, the earth is divided into 3 heat zones. The torrid zone experiences extreme climate. These regions are very hot. The temperate zone has moderate climate. It is neither too cold nor too hot. The frigid zone includes extremely cold areas.